The Sonic Movie Show is a weekly show that you can find on a variety of podcast services. Keep up with us by following our Twitter at Sonic Movie Show. What's up, guys, and welcome to the 69th episode of the Sonic Movie Show, the only show that's about Sonic news, and Sonic movie news. My name is Ethan, and with me here, as always, is Devin.
See you later, buddy.
Oh, damn. Let me guess. That is from Sonic Unleashed?
No. It's actually...
Can I get a second guess?
Yeah.
Sonic...
It's your favorite one. No.
Favorite one? Sonic Adventure 2?
No.
That's my favorite one.
Is it?
Sonic Heroes? Because I say that half the time.
Nope.
Sonic 06?
No.
Sonic Colors?
Closer. Not really, but...
Sonic Lost World?
How about a Sonic Forces?
Fuck. I thought I had that, but I guess "See you later, buddy" could literally be in all of them.
Well, actually, that's the last line by Sonic voice actor Roger Craig Smith in his last Sonic game.
Oh, well, his last console one.
Yeah,
that isn't Sonic Team Racing, which came out
we
after
don't,
Forces.
Yeah,
but yeah,
you know what I mean.
Thematically, it works out. Yes. I guess that isn't necessarily the big topic, but it should technically be the big topic for the show. And I only say that because we really have no news besides just a tweet. But it appears that Roger Craig Smith, long-standing voice actor for Sonic the Hedgehog in basically everything but the movie that came out, obviously, that we're fucking named after, has retired or left or... for whatever reason, is no longer being the voice of Sonic in anything ever. Yeah. It's weird.
Well, I was going to say, actually, Sega confirmed it in a statement on Twitter like an hour or two ago, saying, for over 10 years, Roger Craig Smith has been an integral part of the Sega family. He brought the voice of Sonic to life, and we are forever grateful for his never-ending enthusiasm in helping the community and spreading joy. Thank you, Roger, for all you've done for Sonic. And then, obviously, he was the one that kind of just broke the news himself, where he said, well, 10 years was an amazing run. Onward to new zones. Much love to the fans who've been so kind. Blue heart emoji. It's been an honor. Hedgehog emoji. But then he had a photo of, a blue heart that was broken. So
yeah, and
it makes it seem that, he was either, told, hey, you're not doing this anymore, or we're firing you, or it doesn't seem like it was his decision, just based off that photo alone and how the way he said it.
To me, there are plenty of conclusions we could jump to, and the unfortunate, ugly thing is, the Harvey Weinstein type of, oh, fuck. I 100% doubt that that's what's going on here, but that's just...
He would have been fired from...
EA.
Origin or EA there for Apex Legends too.
Right.
So,
but I'm just saying that's my thought process is, oh shit, huh? What's going on? So there's that. Another obvious thing I can think of is they want Ben Schwartz to be the voice of Sonic now, because of the movie, which we both agreed that he did a good job. I still prefer Roger Craig Smith's voice as Sonic. I think it's a better voice for Sonic. So I think that's a little bit unfortunate that they're like, Hollywood actor, you do it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we don't, until that's confirmed, we really can't even say that either. It could just be them cutting corners, because it's been it's for these corporations. They're bleeding their profits, and in COVID, so they.
I think Ben Schwartz would be more expensive though than Roger Craig.
That's what I'm saying. Is that this might be like, hey, we're gonna hire someone who's much cheaper than you, and also, I guess one I don't know if you want to say, I wouldn't say it's a pro, but how you could kind of look at this too is, I guess, in hope of a good Sonic game coming soon, is that maybe this is a start of a start of a clean slate, that they're like, okay, we need to do something completely different. Let's get a new voice actor. Let's get maybe even a new design in a video game. I think there's a lot of, this could point to many different things, or it could just be, hey, we just need someone cheaper. We don't know how much he's asking for, and sometimes shit happens.
So that makes me think, I would feel like Ben Schwartz would be more expensive than Roger Craig Smith.
Yeah.
Like what you're saying is the opposite.
I think it won't be Ben Schwartz. I think it'll just be
someone else
that we haven't heard of.
Maybe. Okay.
That's my theory. That's my speculation.
What I do know, or at least, okay, I don't know this, but this is what I have. This is my not assumption.
Prediction?
No. My
guesstimate?
Not understanding of Roger Craig Smith, but like my like kind of what I know about him from what I've seen from all of him. He is super into the work that he does and everything that he does. Like way too, like, I don't want to say too much, but like more than I've seen other video game voice actors do. And so I highly doubt he was just bored and decided to stop. You know what I mean? To me, this sounds like some sort of, I don't know if I would call it a creative difference or just like, hey, you know, we don't want to pay you as much anymore. And sorry. Something like that. And he decided, okay, I'm going to leave.
I was going to say, though, at least I think the love for him, the community has shown, at least on Twitter, has been pretty good. Even Ben Schwartz wrote in there, "You are and always will remain an absolute legend, Roger." Like, that's cool that, you know, the other voice of Sonic's like, hey, I have mad respect for you.
Longer than I think any of the voice actors for Sonic has been. And what I find kind of embarrassingly hilarious is Sonic fans in the reply to that tweet being like, "Oh man, I hope they get previous voice actor for Sonic back in the role."
Yeah,
no, I don't think anyone's voicing Sonic that you've seen before. I think it's going to be Ben Schwartz or someone else.
Yeah, this one IGN article I was reading was saying that, like, Roger Craig Smith first voiced Sonic in 2010, Sonic Free Riders and Sonic Colors, and has voiced all the characters in Sonic games since, and also the Sonic Boom TV series as well.
Yeah,
it's kind of wild to think that was 10 years ago, and you have to think as well how many people like we're older, we're in our mid 20s. How many people have grown up after the Sonic Adventure era of Sonic games? You know, the after like Knuckles, I want to say, and this is their voice of Sonic. So like, I don't think for people who are really into Sonic, more so than us, like who are really into it, I think they're probably more crushed, I think, than we are, considering we've had multiple Sonic voices.
Right. I mean, like you said his first two Sonic roles were Free Riders and Colors. I thought he was in Unleashed, so like I guess I just assumed wrong there. That's how much they kind of blend together. But he was my favorite, way more than the guy that did Sonic Adventure 2. Like, Roger Craig Smith had a bit of humor to the voice of the character, which obviously you need the writing to actually make that happen. But like the character it felt more cartoony and real than any of the other attempts at it. Even Jaleel White's, really. Jaleel White's was a Bugs Bunny type of Sonic, and not a Sonic type of Sonic, if that makes sense. And like I mentioned, he is super into all the roles he ever does. He talks about Apex Legends way more than I think any of the other voice actors do for that game. And when I saw his tweet for it, I follow a bunch of voice actors, and they're all like saying like, "Yeah, you're like the best. We love you."
You're the GOAT.
Yeah, exactly. Even though he is not in as many video games that others are, you know, like that is still like, hey, that's an iconic role, right? And he's been other things. He's been Batman in one of the games. He's been one of the Assassin's Creed guys, the famous one from Assassin's Creed 2. He's been in a bunch of stuff, you know, recently as well. But like Sonic is like his identity. Although for the past like month or so on Twitter, all I ever see him tweet is like wildlife photos he's taken. So maybe he found a new hobby and is like,
yeah,
I'm
maybe
take
that's
a backseat to voice acting. I'll do my Apex Legends, you know, VOA lines every 2 weeks when they send me something else to say, and that's it. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it always sucks to see an icon of a thing you like kind of leave, but it's always inevitable. You know, at some point there's always going to be a new Sonic or a new actor for your favorite TV show or movie or whatnot. Or so, while it sucks, I'm actually kind of excited to see who they pick.
And that, yes, 100%. I think it'll be a fresh voice that we haven't seen it. They're not going to like, oh, we're going to pull out another more well-known video game voice actor. They're going to find some newbie that has done his, you know, his run through animes and is trying to get something that is a little bit more paying than, you know, a Naruto character to do Sonic. But I mean, this opens up a much bigger possibility for in the future to bring him back. I mean, for Sonic Generations, which you and I have both played separately, it's my first ever Platinum Trophy. There's 2 Sonics in that game. Sonic, voiced by Roger Craig Smith, and then the classic Sonic, who's silent. Sega originally wanted to have Jaleel White voice the classic Sonic. And Sonic Forces, as much as we hated that game, they're like, oh, alternate dimension Sonic is classic Sonic. Like, they could easily just be like, oh, we have all these many different Sonics. Here's the Roger Craig Smith one, you know what I mean?
Or here's one thing that we're completely missing that you just kind of touched upon is why have a voice actor at all? He can just be silent.
Oh, no.
You don't think? I think it could work if you just
we talked about this.
A kind of like Mario doesn't really talk either.
Right, but
something like that. Or it's just, he does 3 lines.
But we talked about this on the show before. Mario's appeal comes from the fact that they make really good Mario games, and like the fun of the characters through movement. Sonic's fun is like his humor, the characters, what they have to say. I mean, there's TV shows about Sonic. They're funny. You know what I mean? The Mario ones are funny to make fun of from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean, but I'm not saying, I'm trying to say that like that doesn't mean it's not a possibility of that they could go a route with no voice actor and be like, you know what, we're actually going to focus on making a good game.
I wouldn't hey, if that's what it takes, at least for the time being, I'll take that. But that also could mean a complete redesign to the tone and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like everyone hated the Sonic Boom redesign until they started making funny shows and they kind of started making fun of themselves. The Sonic Boom games are beyond terrible. Some people argue that they're worse than Sonic 2006. I never played the Wii U and 3DS Sonic Boom games, so I don't know. But everyone hated those designs, but who knows? Maybe they're gonna do something else for like the next Sonic design. You know, try to like
Sonic could be in Resident Evil. You never know, man. You never know.
Exactly. Sonic is the tall lady.
You could do it with the Sonic Boom kind of aesthetic.
It's got those long
legs. Yeah.
Exactly. I just remember when that was revealed around the time that Capcom basically said, "Oh yeah, we're not doing Mega Man ever again," and Bandai Namco was like, "Oh, here's our new design for Pac-Man," and he also looks completely ugly. And everyone's like, "Why can't people just treat their characters right? Like, what are these fuckers doing?" But in any case, it's crazy to see what might happen with that. In the future is just so dark and mysterious for Sonic's world.
You know what else is dark and mysterious in the future?
Morbius, a movie that I cannot wait to have be deleted from my memory, is too far away now in the future. We made a bet,
like 3 episodes ago,
3 weeks ago, about like the box office for this movie,
and then like a week later, it got postponed to like next year, and then it got pushed even further back into next year.
We made a bet, because the movie's the movie's at that time release date was going to be in like March. It was something real soon. We're like, are you sure? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was this March or something like that. Yeah,
in theaters, not like a direct to HBO kind of thing that HBO's doing. Or like
it was March or April, I don't remember, but yeah, it was real close.
It was something sooner rather than later. And we made, I don't even completely remember what our numbers were. It doesn't matter now at all. I think I was extremely low, and you were higher because you had hope.
No, it was actually, I think it was switched. I think I remember I was like, I was going to say 200,000. You're like, no, it's going to be like 300.
Oh, okay. Well,
something like that. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
For sure. Exactly. Because, delayed twice in 1 month. It is now for 2022. It still feels like it's in 2020. I don't know. There's shit going on with like GameStop or whatever. But this movie is now delayed, along with the Uncharted movie. Both of these Sony films are now in 2022.
We really should be talking about the Uncharted movie since we're more of a video game movie podcast.
I think it's hilarious that we spent, I swear, like 30 minutes talking about Morbius as like a bet, and then it's immediately destroyed.
With it, I think it was like a couple days after the episode went up too. Like it was like literally a couple days after. I'm like, well, there it goes. But
the funniest thing though is that both those movies, those Sony films, were supposed to come out last year in 2020. Now they're 2022.
That
Uncharted was supposed to be like a Christmas movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know. I think we're just seeing the market again being like, or like, especially with what we've heard from the new administration in the White House, that like their goal is to do a certain amount of vaccines in a certain amount of time. And even Dr. Fauci said, like, at best, this will be like everything will be close to normal by fall if like 70 to 80% of Americans get vaccinated. So I think a lot of, like, that news coming out, I think probably is making these production companies decide, okay, you know what? Like, we already postponed a year. Let's just do it. Like, we don't have a deal to get it on HBO. We can't get a deal to put it on Netflix. So let's just push it back again.
There's going to be no difference in the money it makes if you delay it a year or 2 years or 3 years or 5.
Yeah.
Because it is just on ice in that sense.
Yeah. This isn't like a movie, or both of these movies aren't like...
And that kind of helps.
I don't want to say Avengers level of where, like, if this was on HBO Max, is it gonna like get enough people to?
I think Uncharted will do better in theaters than Morbius. I think Morbius benefits more from a direct to video or direct to streaming or whatever.
Maybe.
I think Uncharted will actually make a lot of money. Not obviously like the top 5 Marvel movies in terms of their grossing, or, you know, Avatar or anything like that, but I think it will be like Jumanji or higher levels of like, oh wow, yeah, let's go see that. That looks like a whole lot of fun.
I was gonna say that also Morbius, I feel like has it compared to Uncharted, I think has either a very low floor in terms of like making money, or also a very high ceiling where like it could do a Venom and get a shit ton of money. When Uncharted, I feel like is a lot more
by Venom though. People thought Venom was a Marvel Studios film. I think that's my theory for why that movie did well.
But I think Uncharted has a much higher floor, but maybe a lower ceiling. But I think it goes back to what's his name there, Spider-Man,
Tom Holland.
Like, I think since he's kind of cemented himself as you have to go see him in theaters kind of actor.
Right.
I think a lot of people will go. So like, yeah, both these movies I think are better off waiting to be seen in theaters. Like you said, like I don't think anyone's demanding them. Like, we need Justice League right now. You know what I mean? No one's saying we need Morbius. No one's saying we need Uncharted right now. So it's okay to save them.
Exactly.
I want to quickly read though this this Polygon headline. When I looked up Morbius news, and this was the headline title. Ready? Jared Leto says Morbius, the vampire, is a bit closer to who I am.
Delay the movie 5 more years.
Oh my god!
As they used to say in 2017, when they would say the wall just got 5 feet higher, Morbius just got 5 years more delayed. All right.
And there's another article here that said Morbius. Jared Leto didn't go method since he's an actual vampire, which could be true. We can't deny that. But he did spend a couple months in the desert, so maybe I would say he's not a vampire, unless he did some weird ritual shit in the desert. I don't know. But
did you see the trailer for the Denzel Washington film, The Little Things?
I did not.
Starring Jared Leto.
No.
As like a fucking serial killer he pulls out of jail, and it's the corniest shit possible. It is classic. I'm the deranged man. I'm the Joker, and you need my help.
And he is a Joker, dude. He's the only Joker. Everyone else is just trying to be him.
Yeah, okay. If he really wants to method act the Joker, he needs to die. Like, what's his name? But, yeah, he's terrible. Those movies, though. So actually, I'm going back earlier. You mentioned what Dr. Fauci said about normal being potentially fall. I think that actually gives companies more of a concrete plan like we had said, but here's actual data for it, essentially. Because before it's like, well,
we don't know.
But the vaccine, like, remember when AMC was like, we just don't like what HBO or what Warner's doing with HBO with vaccines right around the corner. That's like it's gonna be perfect by the Super Bowl. Everything's gonna be normal by the Super Bowl type.
And
of
the Super Bowl is in 3 weeks, so
right.
or no, sorry, 2 weeks.
And now you have a CDC that's allowed to talk, saying that actually no, it's not going to be until the fall. Your summer blockbusters are not going to be summer blockbusters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Until the fall. Now there's an actual like, okay, they said by fall, we're going to plan by that now.
Yeah.
So these are going to be summer blockbusters for 2022.
Yeah, I guess he will. I guess the move by like Warner Brothers to like put like all those movies on HBO probably was them being ahead of the curve. They probably got a better deal out of that before like that news came out, or that I guess information came out. Because like not like imagine trying to strike a deal after that came out, when now the movie theaters, I think, in a way, not the movie theaters, but I feel like when you strike a deal with the production companies, that they could be like, or Netflix or whatnot would be like, actually, you guys aren't going to put these in theaters because no one's going to go. So we know that you guys are screwed. So if anything, you need to give us more money to have your films played on our service. Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, 2020 was a surprise year. But for 2021, like, you know what you're getting. You have to plan out a year of no movies, essentially, for theaters, or find something else to do about it. If you want your company, your production company, to actually turn a profit this year for your financial, for your fiscal year, you got to find some way of releasing these films. And you're right, it could be a weirdly niche and lucrative market to be like, hey, we're streaming platforms. We've all merged into 5 of them now. You know what I mean? Like, it used to be WWE Network, and now it's picked up by, I think, Peacock. Right? Yeah. WWE streaming network is gone, and now it's just the home for WWE is on Peacock. More of this kind of stuff of like Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime Video and Peacock and Stars. No, they're gone now, or stuff like that.
Well, all that stuff's on Amazon, so like exactly. It all funnels to the same corporation in some way or form. But yeah, it still sucks, I guess, to like. I kind of knew it was coming, that, like, it just sounds like we're not going to movies for another, at least, majority of this year. I mean, maybe Maryland will get its shit together quicker than other states, and maybe that's the only thing we can hope for. But, like, even if I get the vaccine, I don't know if I'm still probably not going to go to the movie theater, just knowing because other people probably won't. So, and it just sucked because there's a lot of movies that are coming out this year that I'm like, that are going to be on HBO and whatnot that I really wanted to see in theaters, and I'm just unfortunately just not going to get the opportunity.
Yeah, there's a couple that I have been interested in that it's like a shame that it's not going to happen in theaters. But yeah, fucking nuts.
You know what else is fucking nuts? Speaking of movie theaters, and I guess GameStop. In case you're living under a rock, AMC's stock. And I want to talk about this because we've been kind of following the AMC, I guess, bankruptcy possibly story since last year when we were first AMC A-stubs, A-listers, or whatever they're called, and then it turned into, shit, we don't know if we're ever going back. Maybe we'll go back. I don't know. Is it ethical to go back? And then it turned into, okay, we're not going back. And it sounded like at one point,
back to.
Yeah, it sounded at one point that AMC was filing for bankruptcy. Maybe we've talked about, is AMC going to get bought by someone? I guess that's still a possibility. But with this crazy story that's been happening the last couple of days, it started with GameStop, but there's a couple other stocks like AMC who are getting their stocks back up when they've been down the dumps for quite a bit, even before the pandemic, especially GameStop. The subreddit, I think it's called
Wall Street Bets.
It started off, I guess, as a joke from what I've read, but a couple people bought GameStop, and then everyone just got in on the GameStop train. And I guess they had such a big push that the value rose up super high.
Yeah.
And then they also did it with AMC, but not as it wasn't as big as GameStop. GameStop, I'm saying, was like at one point like in the 400s, which is insane. So if you just had one stock, right, you got $400 right there.
Yeah.
When like AMC, I think it has only been like 20 or so dollars. But still, if you bought it for $1 or you bought 100 shares. You spend $100, got 100 shares on AMC, and it goes up $20. You can do the math there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this because according to a couple articles I read, I'm actually just going to quote this one from Yahoo Finance, who said AMC, this is their reports are, AMC said on Monday it had raised $917 million since mid-December through equity and debt issues. And now they're officially saying that bankruptcy for AMC is completely off the table. And actually raised an additional $304.8 million by selling the shares this week. So in a way, a bunch of nerds on Reddit might have saved AMC from going bankrupt. And in a way, potentially could be saving cinema, at least how we know it. And I think this is awesome, by the way, just because...
It's collective organizing,
basically.
Destroying Wall Street.
And everyone, and I also read a report that some hedge funds that were betting on like AMC and GameStop, basically there's a concept where you bet on stock to continue to go down. I don't know exactly how it works, but it's called like selling shorts.
It's where you borrow and then you sell it and then you come back again to it. I don't understand it completely either, but yeah.
Yeah, and I guess like some of the hedge funds like have like some sort of due date on Friday, and it are based off everyone who's been buying all this stock and raising it, these hedge funds have lost like $40 billion or something like that.
Yeah.
We're talking billions, not millions here, and this is all one percenters.
No, yeah,
man. This ain't like your grandpa just lost his 401k or something. This is one percenters who never give two shits about you, and now they're crying. And in fact, Robinhood, like one of the biggest stock apps, a couple other as well, basically wouldn't allow you to buy GameStop or AMC this morning until later on in the day. But the only thing you could do was sell it. If you already had it, you could sell it, and that caused it to crash a little bit. But now a lot of people are just staying in, I think, just to spite the whole thing. And there's actually a bunch of class action lawsuits already being filed against Robinhood. I saw AOC saying that there might be a Congress investigation into Robinhood, which would be bad news. And
there have been rumblings for a long time about how Robinhood was going to fail itself. Means I don't quite understand, but how like it just doesn't completely add up to what they're going to do, and something like this, not the GameStop thing, but how they treat it is going to bite them in the ass. And
and then this stems back to around 2008 when like the stock market crashed, and like a lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people lost their homes, etc. Everyone was impacted. If you were in the middle class to lower class, in 2008, you were affected by the stock market. You were affected by these people being nervous about the economy. And it's funny now that it's reversed, and we're watching all them freak the fuck out. And now they're saying it's unfair, blah, 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 even though they do the exact same stuff all the time. Literally, people in Congress did it a couple days before they made COVID a national emergency. How is that not insider trading?
I remember that. But to go back to, because you explained in a way that we can piggyback off this. You said that these extremely rich people had betted on GameStop to fail. They were treating it like a casino, and then they're upset that other people are fucking toying with the casino. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there is no way to look at the reactions that some of these people are having on Twitter, their statements, and other places as well, as anything but just a crybaby, whiny bullshit. Like, no, I should be able to just abuse the economy. What do you mean you're abusing the economy and hurting me? That's not fair.
Yeah.
Type of stuff, and it's hilarious to me.
Yeah, and I think the one benefit of this is, like, in a way, as much as I'm not the biggest fan of stock markets, I do have some stocks, though, just because I think, in a general sense, unfortunately, you have to play the system regardless if you dislike it. And just because I think that's the only way. I don't know if we're ending capitalism in my lifetime. So, with that in mind, I am actually cheering for all these people on Reddit that I hope they lose, the 1% lose as much money as possible. And in a way, I kind of hope that, like, AMC and GameStop, maybe they can use this as a second wind.
Somehow. I mean,
and maybe they can pay, maybe AMC and GameStop can pay their workers a living wage. That can also.
That's not going to happen. That's just there's just more 1% people in GameStop and AMC are going to merge. But yeah, no, I actually have a coworker that is doing the AMC thing. He was just texting me like an hour ago that right now he's up 132%.
That's good.
And he's like, yeah, at one point yesterday it was at 200, but now it dropped back down. But it's going back up in the day. I'm like, just keep an eye on it, dude. Like, I don't want you to lose.
I did look. I
only put in a little bit.
I looked
so
at like
okay.
I think it was GameStop, and at one point at like 2:00, it went up $100 and then down $100 within like 5 minutes. I'm like, that's just insane
you
volume.
Gotta just be paying attention. And just,
And it's funny is that like yesterday, actually, like finally sold stock that I've had for like 2 years that like went up. It went up stupid. Like I have 5 shares of, I think it was like SunPower, and it was up. And like since I bought it, it's been up like 200%. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this and just put it in in one of the more safer ones. That I forgot what they're called. IHFs, something like that. I don't remember the exact acronym. It shows you how much I know about stocks. But I guess I'm accidentally a stock god when it comes to solar stocks. But yeah, I unfortunately did not get in on the AMC or GameStop hype. Even though at one point I did almost buy GameStop as a joke, but I didn't, and now I kind of wish I did.
Well, I remember when I first got a few decimals of a Bitcoin back in 2013 on some old computer that I have somewhere. I'd be like, oh man, this is a funny thing. I can use my computer to make money. Cool. And then like, oh damn, I wish I just kept up at it, because then I could have sold it when it was an actual thing for real.
I thought I had Dogecoin, because actually Dogecoin's another one that's gone up that people are memeing into existence. And then I logged into my Coinbase account, which I haven't logged into in 3 years, and it doesn't exist anymore. So I don't know if they're just like, bro, you had like 0.0001 of Dogecoin, so I think we just deleted it. So, but if it blows up, I'm gonna have to talk to him. I'll be like, look, I know I had a Dogecoin in there somewhere.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I think that's enough investor talk from us.
But we will tell you should invest in the Sonic movie show. I don't know how you do that, but
and we also we're not giving you investment advice at all.
No.
By the way, to do whatever you are going to do, but don't do it because we told you anything. I'm about to invest in a football team.
Yeah.
No, actually, I am. But yeah, so that is a good way to end this discussion about that. Do we want to read a Sonic book? All right, we're on chapter 15 of our favorite book. I think the show's canonical favorite book, Sonic the Hedgehog, the official movie novelization, now a major motion picture. We're on chapter 15 of 16, plus an epilogue. This is just a children's retelling of a children's book, or a children's movie as a book. As always, I'm the narrator, and Devin is all of the voices. Shit is getting real.
That's actually what it says in the first sentence.
Exactly. Let's begin. Zam! Tom fell flat on his back. Then Maddie fell flat on him. It was like the drop from a tree branch times 100.
There's no place like home,
he said with a cough.
Home?
Maddie jumped up and surveyed Farmer Zimmer's barn.
We're in Green Hills! How are we here and not dead? Sonic must have tossed one of his magic rings underneath as we fell off the building.
Tom said, pulling himself up.
Little dude is pretty fast. But where is he? How can we help him? I don't know. He may have already warped away, but who knows what happened to Robotnik. All we can do is what Sonic would do. Keep moving.
Despite their aches and pains, the pair headed for home at a sprint. Tom burst through the door and surveyed the damage done by Robotnik's drones after his and Sonic's desperate escape. It felt like weeks ago. The room was overturned, books and artwork ripped off the shelves, and Tom's map of San Francisco had been shredded to pieces.
Someday soon, you're really going to have to tell me what happened to you.
Maddie said over his shoulder. Tom reached down in the mess and picked up the keys to his police cruiser.
The short version is that the robot fandoms can be extremely unhealthy.
He said.
But at least we'll still have a set of wheels to take. Thanks, taxpayers. Also kind of fuck off there. Where should we go?
Maddie asked.
Back to San Francisco?
And then, in the distance, they heard the sound of an explosion in Green Hills.
I've got a feeling we don't need to go that far.
Tom said, and he nodded to the car.
Might be best if you can get in the back.
Tom hopped in and floored it, sirens blazing, the first time he had ever had an excuse to drive like that as a Green Hills police officer. Within moments, they were approaching a smoldering crater in the town square. Robotnik's egg pod had come to rest just above the familiar outline of the spiky blue hedgehog.
It's like World of Worlds or something.
Exactly.
That's how I imagine it in my head. Do you trust me?
Tom asked.
Always.
Said Maddie.
Then brace yourself.
Tom launched the cruiser over the bridge and into the water. They hit head first into the iceberg and died.
Oh my god.
Tom launched the cruiser over a curb and brought it into a head-on collision with the egg pod. The two vehicles clanged off each other with a scrunch, and Robotnik flew from his pilot seat and onto the ground. All this is different from the movie. The airbag hit Tom square in the face, but he shook it off and checked to find Maddie unhurt, but squeezing the cruiser's cage divider for dear life.
Now I know what it feels like to be in a cat carrier,
she said.
This is professional development. Really. Stay there and stay safe.
Tom said and commanded his woman. Tom said and jumped out of the cramped driver's seat toward the action.
Wachowski.
Robotnik growled as he pulled himself up. From the wreckage of the egg pod, strands of blue lightning were still clinging to his warped face.
Who do you think you are, you simpleton? I'm the Donut Lord, chump.
Tom said and swung his fist hard, connecting with a right hook. The last vestiges of the chaos lightning lifted him off the ground. Tom flipped over and landed in the dirt next to a smiling Sonic.
I knew you'd make it.
The hedgehog cheered.
Sorry about pushing off a skyscraper. If you had to do it, that was the best way, I guess.
Tom said with a laugh. Robotnik reared up with a snarl and began banging his busted controls.
Why? Why would you throw your life away for this thing? That's why I only have robots. Never friends.
He said.
They make you irrational.
Bing! A D battery bounced hard off the doctor's head, and Tom turned to see an army of
Damn,
that's
actually lethal.
Yeah, those are thick. Led by Crazy Carl.
That's our sheriff you're messing with.
Carl cried.
And our Blue Devil, who everyone can now see is a very real creature who is not at all invented by me.
The townsfolk circled in, but like a rabid animal, Robotnik wouldn't go down without violence. He slammed and swiveled the controls on his glove, and Tom could hear the egg pod sputtering to life once again.
Do you think you yokels can stop me? Me? I'm authorized by the United States government to eliminate any and all threats to my investigation, and a much higher power authorizes me to replace each and every one of you with Botnik magnificence.
Zack. A blue blur crossed Robotnik's face and left him spinning. Sonic the Hedgehog, Tom's friend, was back at full speed and ready to run this creep down.
You think you got it all figured out, but you played yourself.
Fuck off, Sonic said with a jeer as he sped from spot to spot, just ahead of the egg pod's busted cannons.
You thought you could steal a bit of my chaos energy and use it to bend the world to your will? But it doesn't work like that. Chaos doesn't get controlled, and neither do I, Robotnik.
You just said chaos control, essentially.
Stop saying that name!
Sonic's quills were charging faster and faster, and his body radiated blue light. Each time Sonic spun around Robotnik, it almost seemed like his body was morphing into a hot, bright yellow flame. Through the blaze of the energy, Tom spotted the X Factor for the battle across the field and ran to it.
Chaos doesn't have to mean destruction.
Sonic said, dodging from side to side.
I know how it works now. I know why I'm here for. Introduce a little mayhem into life, and the random ride can bring people closer. That's how you make friends, by sticking together. Right, Donut Lord?
Tom spun around, the prize in his hand. Sonic had known what he was up to the whole time. The Hedgehog could see the big picture after all. Maybe better than he did.
You got it, pal.
Tom called out and threw the ring sack back toward his friend.
Well, sorry. We'll see how much your friends can offer when I dissect you in my lab.
Robotnik called, though there was fear in his eyes now.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard pass for me, dog.
Sonic said.
Here's my counter offer.
Sonic caught the bag and pulled out his 9mm, aiming the pistol straight at Robotnik's eyes and unleashed 3 short rounds straight into his temple.
There was a silence.
The doctor fell to the ground. Control glove falling off his hand. No. The Hedgehog caught the bag, pulled out his last ring, and sped into an electric tornado. From inside, the golden circle rose in the air, revealing in its center a distant planet populated with mushrooms. Sonic burst out of his whirlwind, supercharged and with the eyes like daggers. He clapped his hands together, and crack-a-thoom! A final chaotic burst through the ring right at Robotnik, eating up the scientist and his cruel machine. A shockwave of blue lightning dissipated in the air, and when the sound of thunder died down, Sonic stood alone in the burned circle of dirt. The Hedgehog collapsed. Tom ran toward him, crouching low, and picked Sonic's head up. It didn't look like he was breathing.
The Blue Devil. Is he okay?
Asked Carl as the townspeople rushed to Tom's side. Maddie was soon kneeling next to him with fear in her eyes.
He was never Devil, Carl.
Tom said at last.
His name was Sonic, and he was always one of us. But I have much better style than you guys.
Sonic coughed hard, and his breathing picked up to its regular frantic pace. His eyes fluttered open, and the town of Green Hills cheered.
That might be,
said Tom.
But we still need to get you some pants.
That happened completely differently than...
Dun, dun, dun.
That was the end of the chapter. That happened completely differently than the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of just, action fought. Maybe that was, not as fun to describe.
You say you changed it up a little bit, yeah.
Because the previous chapter was just them running, right? And, that was kind of
And then they
boring.
had, a supercharged fight in the movie.
Yeah.
You get that cool shot with Jim Carrey of the close up there, and then
in the pod, kind of zooming in,
and then Sonic just gets super electric.
It's electric,
electric man, and then kills him. Just kidding.
Basically.
Puts him into Mushroom World, I guess.
Yeah.
So I wonder if the last chapter is going to be Sonic living with them, and then the epilogue is going to be Tails,
or Robotnik's little Mushroom Planet land.
Yeah,
I guess, or maybe both. There's only 10 pages left in this book, and it's split between chapter 16 and the epilogue. So, I guess we will find out the thrilling conclusions to this wonderful tale known as Sonic the Hedgehog, the official movie novelization.
Maybe we can
we'll
finish
have it finished before the movie's
I was going to say that, yeah.
What hilarity would that be? Well, thank you guys for listening to episode 69 of the Sonic Movie Show. We had a lot of fun recording this as well. You can find the show on a multitude of podcast platforms, such as Spotify, Apple Music, Google Music, or Google Podcasts. Just Audible app.
Google.
There's YouTube.
Just Google us.
We're on a bunch of places. including Twitter, which you can find at Sonic Movie Show. Let us know what you think about, I don't know, Morbius. And tweet at me at Ethan Absolutely and Devin at CURSONA YouTube your thoughts about Sonic Mania's conclusion of this book. We will find you next week on the Sonic Movie Show. Peace out.